Sub-Officer John Hallam. I've been called as a witness at today's disciplinary hearing.
Through there on the second floor.
Got a bloke called Bert Quigley stopping here?
Well, on a temporary basis, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got a cab full of his gear, courtesy of Mrs. Quigley.
We're both called as witnesses. We're not supposed to discuss the case.
I just can't credit it. After what those bastards did to you, why didn't you bring a complaint against them?
Sub, I appreciate everything you've done for me. And I'm really grateful to you for saving my life. But we both know that this hearing is just a formality. At most, they'll get a caution and a fine. And I'm going to have to go back and work with them again.
All we have to do is stick to the letter to what we said in our statements. What we say it was what it was. Bit of a lark that went badly wrong. Hey, Monkey Nuts hasn't even brought a complaint against us. There'll be no case to answer, lads.
I thought you said, after you've been gone a couple of days, Jean would be round here on her bended knee begging you to come home.
Scouser, you know the chief's presiding on this one, don't you? Look, it's all right. All right. Don't get steamed up, Porky. You made a statement saying you didn't see a thing. You were on the phone, in the watchroom, the whole time. That is what you said.
Yes, that's what I said. I never saw nothing. At least I think that's what I said.
That's what your bloody tongue does, you said.
Look.
I am absolutely and utterly gutted. That woman must have a heart of stone.
Conducting officer, please read the charge.
Leading Fireman Connors. You are charged under paragraph 15 of the Code of Offences Against Discipline with conduct prejudicial to the reputation of the brigade, and that you did participate with others in abusive, offensive and intimidating conduct at Borough Street Fire Station by tying Fireman Maddox to a ladder and placing him over an open dam, and did make repeated unreciprocated remarks contrary to the standards of behaviour laid down in the Chief Officer's newsletter 1985, to which charges you have pleaded not guilty. Do you wish to adhere to that plea?
Yes, sir.
Julia? No, don't hang up, please. I just wanted to apologise about the other night.
I can't remember what I got so wound up about.
You wouldn't believe I was going to a friend's hen party. You thought I was seeing another man.
You are Sub-Officer John Hallam, stationed at Blackwall Fire Station, and you were the officer in charge on a temporary basis at Borough Street Fire Station on the night when the incident took place.
Sir?
You say there was an atmosphere of tension. You say there was a considerable amount of bullying and what you describe as scapegoating going on against Fireman Desmond Maddox. Elaborate, please, for the disciplinary body.
Well, the first time I was aware of it was when Blackwall met up with Borough Street Blue Watch at a fire in council hostel accommodation. And I heard one of the accused call Fireman Maddox monkey nuts and tell him to get back in his tree.
Which of the accused?
Leading Fireman Connors, sir. Later, when Fireman Maddox was about to fight a fire in the same building, one of our Blue Watch, Fireman Tony Sanderson, discovered that Fireman Maddox's DSU was missing off his BA.
Fireman Tony Sanderson is also a black firefighter, and the statement I took from him concerning that incident has been submitted in the evidence. Continue.
Well, when I arrived on duty at Borough Street and did my round of the station, I discovered that someone had hung a bag of monkey nuts on Fireman Maddox's locker. I questioned leading Fireman Connors about it, but He seemed to regard it as some sort of joke. They also, in my hearing, called him Sooty.
Who called Fireman Maddox sooty?
Leading fireman Connors, sir. The others seem to regard it as some sort of joke.
How you doing?
I suppose you've come here to make a scene.
Julia, all I want to do is talk to you.
Where were you when the incident with the ladder and the dam took place?
In the office, doing some paperwork. It was only the bells going down that took me into the appliance bay.
Tell the disciplinary body what you saw when you arrived in the appliance bay.
They'd made a dam out of hose. They'd filled it with water. Then they'd lashed Fireman Maddox face down on a ladder. Somehow the end of the ladder had gone underwater. I couldn't see Fireman Maddox's head. I realised he was drowning.
Get that side appliance out now! Get the hand!
I took the pump off the run, called an ambulance, made them help me get him out and untie him. He was unconscious.
Get an ambulance here now!
He wasn't breathing. I worked to resuscitate him.
What were your feelings?
It was the worst moment. It was the worst moment of my life, sir. I couldn't believe it had happened in the brigade.
I really should be getting back to work.
You know where it all went wrong? When your parents came back from Canaries. If they'd nowhere to go, it would be, well, close. I mean, I couldn't take it to my room at Cyril's. It's like flaming Waterloo there. All the kids running in and out.
Don't worry. We'll think of something.
I have thought of something. We'll get a flat together.
It's a bit serious, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, I thought we were serious. Look, I know you got to get back, so why don't I pick you up tonight after work? We'll have a bite to eat and have, you know, what you call a proper intelligent discussion about it.
Trouble is, I'm going out with my sister.
Oh, your sister?
Yes, George, my sister.
Well, where are you and your sister going?
To the theatre. You don't believe me, do you? You don't believe I'm going with my sister. You think I'm seeing someone else. Well, it's immaterial to me, George, whether you believe me or not, because I'm not standing here in the freezing cold being cross-examined by you.
What I'm saying, Sub-Officer Hallam, is that leading fireman Connors here is known as Scouser because he comes from Liverpool. You must have heard him referred to in your presence as Scouser on several occasions, yet you didn't call him into your office and ask him if he wanted to make a complaint.
Well, that's different.
Why?
Well, Scouser is not an abusive name.
Well, leading fireman Connors might regard it as such. That's possible, isn't it? So, it's equally possible that Fireman Maddox didn't regard his close colleagues calling him monkey nuts or sooty as abusive.
But Fireman Maddox is black.
Exactly. And it's possible that you, as a newcomer to Barrow Street Fire Station, were more sensitive to the fact that Fireman Maddox was black than the accused or Fireman Maddox himself. And that Fireman Maddox didn't want to make an issue of it because that's exactly how he regarded it, as a bit of harmless leg pulling between his mates. Now, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, is it?
It's possible, but...
No more questions. I have a submission to make in regard to the question of Fireman Maddox's DSU going missing off his BA.
I'll step out for 5 minutes to get this. I'll come back, I'll go in the front room and I'll think, hang on, you're in the wrong house. You've been moving the furniture.
It's a sort of therapy.
It's a sort of lunacy. Well, you're not to move anything in this room, which was Nan's room. She died in that bed. It's not a shrine, don't get me wrong. It's a matter of respect. Sick note, this is no way for a bloke to end up. Gloomy, despondent, talking about overdosing. Anyway, you can't overdose on multivitamins and cod liver oil and iron. Royal jelly? Ginseng? What's this?
Kelp.
Kelp? Sick note! You're just going to have to get a grip. You're going to have to swallow your pride, go back to your gaff, go down on bended knee to Jean and beg her to take you back.
I'd rather die.
Well, that's it. I mean, I've tried every way to avoid it. I'm calling the Samaritans.
I'm not talking to the Samaritans.
No, I am.
Fireman Simmons, you've said in your statement that you saw very little of the incident. Because although you were in the watchroom throughout and would normally have a clear view of anything that was going on in the appliance bay, you spent most of your time while the incident was happening on the telephone with your back to the appliance bay.
Sir.
But you did see the 5 accused dragging Fireman Maddox into the appliance bay.
Did I say dragging?
Yes, dragging. You say it looked like a bit of a lark. Was Fireman Maddox laughing?
I don't know. I didn't see.
You didn't see. You didn't see Fireman Maddox being tied to the ladder. You didn't see the ladder being lowered over the dam and the water. You didn't see the ladder somehow fall into the water. You didn't see Fireman Maddox virtually drowning. Yet you did see all 5 accused leave the appliance bay all together and go into the gear room for a smoke. How? If you were on the telephone at the time with your back to the appliance bay.
I don't know. I must have seen it out the corner of my eye.
It's a terrible thing, you know, not feeling comfy in your own gaff.
Well, I'd like to, you know, but I've only got the 2 bedrooms and, well, Melanie, you know.
Oh, no, Mike, no. No, you've got your own life to lead. No, I don't know. I just had to get out, get some air, feel some life around me, you know.
So, what advice do the Samaritans give?
Just try not to take it personally.
What?
Sick note. Try not to dwell on him. Let him wash over me, kind of thing. It's easier said than done. He's got some very irritating habits. Grinds his teeth. And he moves things. You put something down, he moves it. He even moves things he's moved. And, don't tell the lads, but he is actually a chronic hypochondriac.
No, go on. Huh?
Suppose I could see a psychiatrist.
Answer the question.
Sir.
Were you happy at Borough Street? Do you feel part of the team?
I tried to fit in, sir.
Did you fit in?
I don't know, really, sir.
Fireman Maddox, you made no mention of the racist nicknames you were called by the accused in your statement, but I put it to you that you did find them offensive. But you chose not to make a complaint when it was suggested to you by Sub-Officer Hallam, because you hoped if you didn't make an issue of it, the name-calling would stop and the problem would go away. Fireman Maddox, have you been called monkey nuts and sooty and names like that before?
Roundabout? Sometimes. At school sometimes, sir.
But you weren't roundabout or at school, were you? You were supposed to be part of a team in a working fire station. Among men you should have been able to regard as your close colleagues. Men who, if the situation arose, you ought to have been able to depend upon to protect your life. Fireman Maddox, you very nearly drowned. Why haven't you brought a complaint?
I never wanted to be singled out, sir. I never wanted to be made an issue of. I just want to go back and do my job, sir.
So we're just sliding the valve down into position in the heart, and then we will tie each of these stitches. Excuse my finger. So the valve is now virtually into position, and as I tie the stitches, that will secure it in the correct position. We don't like the valve to dry up while we're working with it.
Could you give me a hand to move the hall stand out of the kitchen, please?
Yes. We can see the heart wriggling. That's what you would normally call a cardiac arrest.
Oh, all right, John? If it's okay, I thought I'd take you up on that offer of a drink and a chat.
Yeah. Don't tell me. Those bastards got off late.
No,
Hello, John.
Hello, Doc.
I'm sorry I can't stop, but I'm going to be late for work. There's a couple of cans of beer in the fridge.
Do you want me to pick you up?
Well, Bev said he'd stand me a cab from now on, so why pay when he will? See you around midnight.
Who's Bev? The human dynamo who employs her.
Emma, will you go and wait for me in the foyer? I'll be 5 minutes.
Okay, don't be too.
My sister, George. What is the matter with you? Have you gone mad?
Sour grapes, really. Please, well impressed. It's Bev this, Bev that. Local boy makes good. The motor, the business, the pad, you know.
As long as she doesn't see inside it.
Yeah.
The hearing's not over. The accused's friend tried to maintain there was no case to answer. It was all down to high spirits. A lot of ill-judged larking about that went wrong. I've got to go back there tomorrow in case they need me as a witness again. Here's to justice and it being done.
Here's to some trumped-up compromise.
A fine? Don't do it again, you'll get a good smacking. You haven't got much faith, have you?
No. I wonder why not.
Look, all right, I've made a complete arsehole of myself. I don't know what's up with me. I've never done anything like that in my life before. I said I'm sorry.
But that's not the point, is it, George? I mean, you saying you're sorry is not the point. The point is you don't trust me. For some reason I cannot comprehend you don't believe a single word I say.
Julia, for goodness sake.
For God's sake, George! Have you any idea how demeaning it is to be spied on? I've always told you the truth. What have I got to gain if I lie?
Julia, I've said I'm sorry.
Well, hard luck.
Julia, look, just let me...
George, I'm going to the theatre with my sister. Now get your hands off me. I don't want to see you again. George, go away!
don't care about it.
Try and get it in perspective. It's not the end of the world. She's very fond of you. She'll make up.
She will, if you explain the way you feel. I mean, what is it? It's your first real ruck. Come on, cheer up. She'll come round.
She won't. And she's right. I've treated her like some two-timing tart.
I know what she needs. You'll let me at her. I'll sort her out.
Oh, do you have to bring everything down to the lowest common denominator?
Oi, just a minute. It might have been low, but there's nothing common about it.
Yeah. Can I go and play?
Half an hour, then I want you back home. Understand? Half an hour, Joe! Did you hear what I said?
Scott! Bubble!
Leading Fireman Connors, it's been established that you've been in the London Fire Brigade for 12 years. At Borough Street for 8 of them. Indeed, longer than any other member of Borough Street Blue Watch. And you say in your statement that you took Fireman Maddox under your wing when he first arrived. You felt it was your responsibility to show him the ropes.
To help him fit in, yeah.
Did you think that calling him Monkey Nuts and Sooty would help him to fit in?
Well, everyone in the watch has nicknames, sir. And he always seemed to take it in good part. All he had to do was say if he minded and we'd have stopped.
You believe you speak for the other 4 accused when you say that if Fireman Maddox had protested at being called these nicknames, they would have stopped?
Well, that's right.
Because you told them to stop?
That's right.
In fact, the watch more or less does what you tell them to do. Is that the case?
Leading Fireman Connors, answer the presenting officer's question.
I've forgotten what the question was, sir.
Then let me refresh your memory. The presenting officer asked you whether or not it was a fact that the watch generally did what you told them to do.
Well, not always, no, sir.
Were they acting under your orders when they helped you to drag Fireman Maddox into the appliance bay and helped you to tie him to a ladder and suspend him over a dam?
It wasn't just my idea, sir.
Whose idea was it? I remind you, you're under oath to tell the truth.
I don't remember. We were just fooling around. It's just a bit of a lark.
Leading Fireman Connors, you say that tying Fireman Maddox to a ladder and suspending him over a dam was just a bit of a lark. It was the idea of no one in particular. It just sort of happened for no particular reason. It was a spontaneous act that happened as a result of fooling about. Which is exactly the explanation of the other 4 accused, which they made in their statements and under cross-examination yesterday. You, like them, say that as far as you can recall, Fireman Maddox didn't particularly mind being tied to the ladder and suspended over the dam. You, like them, claim to have no idea how the ladder fell into the dam.
I did, with respect. I said he must have struggled.
While the ladder was over the dam?
Well, that's it.
But he didn't struggle before, did he? According to you and the 4 other accused, he thought the whole thing was a bit of a lark. You claim in your statements, and I quote your actual words, Leading Fireman Connors, though I could be quoting verbatim from any of these statements. I told him not to worry. I was just going for a smoke, and I would untie him when I came back. Why should he suddenly start struggling then? If he was confident that all 5 of you would return in a short while and untie him.
I don't know. It's the only reason I could think of for the ladder going in.
Isn't it a fact that Fireman Maddox was struggling and protesting all of the time? While you were dragging him into the appliance bay, while you were tying him to the ladder, while you were suspending him over the dam?
No! If he was, we would have stopped. I've already said I'm sorry for what happened. But it just happened. It was nobody's fault.
But the fact remains that Fireman Maddox would not have almost drowned if the accused had not suspended him over the dam. I've no more questions of this witness, sir.
What you have there? My cat! I want my cat! Where is it then? Up there! Oh, get down!
So what happens now then, sir?
Well, the chief's left alone to consider the evidence and reach a verdict. They'll all be called back into the courtroom and given that verdict, whether they're innocent or guilty. Now, if they're innocent, then the hearing's over. But if they're guilty, we'll hear evidence of character and look at their service records.
Scouse has got an award for bravery.
Yeah, well, that will be taken into consideration, of course. Anyway, he'll send them out again and decide what punishment to give.
Stand back, everybody, please. Come on.
It's my little... You don't understand, that's my little girl! It's my little girl! You come with me. Crazy! Crazy! Oh, Tracy!
Look, get on the electricity board. Tell them we want somewhere to switch the power off now. Come on, step right back. It's not a peep show. West LED to cut power.
Leading Fireman Connors, Fireman Miller, Fireman Gaunt, Fireman Dunnett, Fireman Close. The offences with which you have been charged, and which, as I stated earlier, were clearly proven, are ones that will not be tolerated in this brigade in any circumstances. You stand here now, disgraced. You have disgraced yourselves and this service. The evidence I heard clearly established for me that this was a persistent course of events, and that you participated in a continuous program of victimization and racial discrimination which only ended with the near death of a fellow officer. That having been said, and having taken into account your exemplary service records, the award of this disciplinary body is dismissal. Clear the room.
Gentlemen, it's all over. Off you go.
I can't believe you're just going to walk out of our lives. I mean, you've been such a talking point. Look, are you absolutely positive you can't make it up with George in some way?
Well, there's no point, is there? I mean, it's never going to be the sort of relationship he wants. And let's face it, we never had that much in common, did we?
You must be the only girl on Earth ever to be wooed by almost an entire fire station.
Well, that's something for me to curl up with when I'm old and grey. I should go.
Oh! Don't be so nervous, Roland.
Look, please don't. All it needs is for her to come in. She's going to think something's going on.
But something is going on, isn't it? Listen, she's going to bingo tomorrow night. I'm babysitting. Your bed or mine?
Look, all this has got to stop. All it needs is for her to find out I'm for the high jump. Marion! Another divorce would finish me. Bloody hell, I'm totally poverty-stricken as it is.
Your bed or mine?
Oh, you know what this is, don't you?
What?
This is sexual harassment of the most vicious kind.
Ah.
Power bloody politics, that's what this is. If this were an office, and I were a woman and you were my boss, I could have you in court for this. But no, because I'm just a man and helpless in my domestic environs, I've just got to suffer it, haven't I? I can't confide in no one, especially not my wife.
That's right. Because if you tell Marion, I'll say it's you that's been harassing me. And I've had to put up with it because I've nowhere else to go. And she'll believe me, Roland, because she very wisely never believes you.
Is every bone in your body evil? Have you no morals at all?
I thought I heard you say something about morals, Roland, then I thought, nah, must have been hearing things. He doesn't know what morals is.
Yeah, well, I'm late for work.
Did you see what you've been doing in the works? We got to keep this up. I mean, he might start taking this seriously. Are you kidding?
They lobbed all 5 of them out of the service, did they?
That's right. And Simmons, the bloke in the watch room, he's going to be hauled over the coals at a later date for not reporting what was going on to me and virtually turning a blind eye.
It looks like the brigade have decided to make an example of them.
Yeah, but it doesn't exactly bode well for my hearing, does it? Sandra reckons I'm going to be joining the job centre queue.
There's a filthy stink in here.
Well, you just walked in, didn't you?
Right. You want a sick note, sick note? What do you want? I want you to tell him he's got to get out of my gaff, Gov. What's up?
I've got a rash.
He brought it on himself, Gov. It's his mind aggravating his body. And I want him out of my gaff because his mind and his body is aggravating me. If he's not moving things about, he's grinding his teeth. If he's not grinding his teeth, he's worrying he's getting another ulcer. If he's not worrying he's getting another ulcer, he's waking me up at 3 o'clock in the morning to tell me his heart stopped.
My heart did stop. It stopped for several seconds. I had to get out of bed and run on the spot to get it going again. I think that's what caused this rash.
Running on the spot?
No. Epidermis attacking bacteria in the nocturnal atmosphere.
Now listen here, Sick Note. Charisma's right. This rash is all in your mind. You're losing all sense of proportion because of your depression.
Oh, if you say it's all in my mind, Gov, it's all in my mind. But if it is all in my mind, how come I can't stop scratching?
Well, if you stop scratching, you might stop scratching.
Of course it was Mal. I know what he looks like.
Hi, Jim.
Cheers, mate.
When was this then?
Last night. Outside the wine bar. I was on my way to work.
Oh, he was kissing her? Yeah.
Malcolm would never carry on with Julia behind George's back.
Ah, come off it. He's always fancied her.
Look, well, don't say nothing to George and cause trouble. I'll have a word with Malcolm later on, if I can get him on his own.
There's bound to be a reasonable explanation for it.
Jean, it's no use pretending that I was just passing. Sydney says you've sent all Bert's clothes and belongings round to Charisma's in a taxi. Jean, Sydney said that Bert's very depressed. Apparently he's come out in some sort of rash. Jean, this is serious. The man is ill.
Rubbish. Nancy, he always does this when he can't get his own way. He thinks up some imaginary disease he's got. He thinks if he can convince enough people he's really sick, I'll feel guilty, resign from Pops and have him back.
Don't you want him back?
It's not as simple as that. My life has taken on a whole new dimension since I met Dominic. The thing is, well, he's asked me to go pro with him.
Pro?
Become a professional singer. Form a duo. Tour the world, sing on cruise ships, that sort of thing.
What about the children?
My mum will have them.
What about poor Bert?
Well, tough.
There's an undercurrent. If there's anything guaranteed to put me off my grub, it's an undercurrent I can't put my finger on. So come on, what's the problem? Apart, of course, from the chimp over here. Bailiff? John?
I ain't got a clue, Gaff. But whatever it is, as usual, I'm not in on it.
Well, frankly, I wouldn't mind knowing why he keeps glaring at me.
Who's glaring?
You. That's not glaring, he's just trying to put one of little Damien spells on you.
If he thinks this is glaring, he ain't seen nothing yet. You want to know what real glaring feels like, Lord Snooty? You come outside with me now.
Now, look, if you've got a bone to pick with Malcolm, get it sorted when you're off duty. And bloody sort it.
If he's got a bone to pick with me, I haven't a clue what it's about.
You haven't a clue what it's about? Don't come the bloody innocent with me. It's about you knocking off George's bird. That's what it's about. I saw you coming out of the wine bar last night and very bloody innocent you both looked and all.
There's a perfectly reasonable explanation for that.
That's what I said.
Yeah, well, if I were George, I don't think I'd think him kissing her were very reasonable.
No, I don't think it's very reasonable.
Look, I was going to tell you about it.
Oh, were you? That's very reasonable and decent of you. Now I'm going to be reasonable and decent with you.
You say you'll throw out! George!
office!
Gav, it simply isn't true.
What did I say? You stirrer.
Right, you and you join George in my office after. If anyone's going to do any tearing her throats round here, it's going to be me! OK, Malcolm. Let's have your explanation.
There hardly seems any point, does there, Gov? He's not going to believe me. He's totally irrational about this girl. That's why she's dropped him, because he's been behaving like a madman.
Oh, not because you've been knocking her off.
Oh, for God's sake, George. What sort of man do you think I am? Gov, I went to see her because I thought I could help her to patch things up between them. And honestly, would I take her to a wine bar where I know he works if I was conducting some sleazy hole-in-the-corner affair with her?
But I wasn't in the wine bar.
But I didn't know you wouldn't be there, did I? And anyway, I don't know why the hell I'm standing here trying to defend myself. And frankly, George, I don't know why you're so obsessed with Julia if you really think that she is the sort of girl that would carry on with me behind your back.
Have you slept with her?
Gov, I'm not going to answer that question. It's beneath contempt.
Have you slept with her? Ask Julia! Conscious?
Don't know, I couldn't tell.
So, take the pump ladder and find the next access point, just in case he's been washed way under there.
Yeah.
Malcolm, you and George get rigged up in your BAs. Ice cold dip's just what you both need. Cool you off a bit. Tony?
Go.
I want you at the entrance with a ladder.
Right.
Sound at the bottom.
Michael, proceed as a show. Quiet. Let the governor our progress. Okay?
Any sign yet, George? Got that, George?
Looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it?
I like the look of it at all.
John, you see that?
Yes, Gov. We should be ahead of them.
It's like the rat run at Southwark with real rats.
Blackwall pump, let it want to Blackwall pump, all over. Yeah, get up. We've found another access point. We're checking it out now.
There must be 20 miles of tunnels down here, sub.
Anyone hearing?
Water must be further down.
George, it's the base. We're pulling the main street.
What is this place? I don't know, but it's starting to slope down.
There he is. Let the Gov know. We've got him. He's conscious, Gov. Get it quick. I've got you, sir. Soon be out. George, get a line round his body. You take this weight while I give it some air. Take a deep breath, sir. George, give him a lift. Hold him.
Hello? Hello? Anyone down there? Hello?
Give it into the ring. Hang on, mate. Bloody rain's falling apart. Don't just stand there for a second. All right. George! Try to get to the side!
How you doing?
Right. It's clear.
He's safe. Are you all right?
Okay. You okay, John? Yep. Withdraw your crew, they've got him.
Right, Gav.
On our way up, Gov.
Is he all right?
You okay? Yes. Oh, that simmered you down a bit, didn't it? Good job. Or they knocked both your rotten heads together.
Underground culvert into